In Major League Baseball, there is a statistic called walks per 9 innings. That stat is exactly what it sounds like. It measures how many walks a pitcher averages per 9 innings. In 2021, Corbin Burnes pitched 167 innings and allowed 34 walks. That's 1.8 walks per 9 innings. Seems simple enough. According to Fangraphs, a walks per 9 inning rate of 2.9 is average, and anything below 2 is elite. The lowest walks per 9 innings rate of any qualified pitcher in 2021 was 1.7 by Boston pitcher Nathan Eovaldi. Since 2010, there have been over 800 individual qualified seasons by a pitcher. Out of those over 800 individual seasons, only 36 had a walks per 9 inning rate at or under 1.5. I mention this to show that it is really difficult to allow such few walks over so many innings, at least in modern times. If we look at the leaderboard for lowest single season walks per 9 innings, the majority of players near the top accomplished their feat in the 1870s and 1880s. Why is this? Well, for the 1870s, instead of 4 balls occurring for a walk to happen, it was 9. A pitcher had to throw 9 pitches out of the strike zone in order to issue a walk. That number was slowly lowered throughout the 1880s until both the American League and the National League agreed in 1889 that 4 balls would issue a walk. No wonder why the lowest walks per 9 inning rates are mostly from pre-1890. It was much harder for a batter to draw a walk than it is today. If we look at the top 25 leaders for lowest walks per 9 innings in a single season, they are all from pre-1890. Except one. There, among the many black and white photos, stands alone one pitcher who edged himself into the leaderboard. This is the most random record-breaking season ever. Out of the top 25 leaders, the only instance that occurred since the 1890s happened in 2005 by Minnesota Twins pitcher Carlos Silva. Carlos Silva pitched for 9 seasons in the big leagues for 4 different teams. He had a few good seasons while he was on the Twins, but his 93 adjusted ERA shows he was about an average pitcher for his career. He may have had an average, mundane career for the most part, but he had a unique 2005 season. In 2005, Silva pitched 188 1/3 innings and allowed 9 walks. That's a .43 walks per 9 innings, and it ranks 7th all-time for lowest walks per 9 innings in a single season. No one has cracked the top 25 since the 1890s before Silva came along and moved himself into 7th all-time. And it's not as if Silva had elite control before that season. Entering 2005, Silva threw almost 400 career innings and allowed nearly 100 walks. His career walks per 9 innings entering that season was 2.3. 2.3 is above average, but nowhere near the top. Silva, a virtually unknown pitcher at the time, shattered the record for lowest walks per 9 innings rate in the modern era. It was a season that seemingly came out of nowhere. Silva walked so few batters, he led all of MLB in strikeouts to walks ratio with 7.89, despite finishing last in MLB in strikeouts per 9 innings. Silva's teammate Johan Santana led all of MLB in strikeouts per 9 innings, but finished second to Silva for strikeouts per walk ratio. Santana had a 5.289 strikeouts per walk ratio. Silva had a 7.889. He was the actual worst strikeout pitcher in baseball that season, but Silva was so elite at limiting walks, it made him look elite at striking out batters. Silva's lead for walks per 9 innings in 2005 led the lead by a large margin. David Wells finished second in walks per 9 innings at 1.027, nearly 2.5 times that of Silva's. Over his entire career, Silva had a 1.725 walks per 9 innings rate. That ranks 37th all-time on the leaderboard. He was one of the better control pitchers of all time, who went on to have one of the greatest seasons of all times by a control pitcher. One can make the argument Silva's 2005 walks per 9 innings is the most impressive of all time, considering everyone around him in the leaderboard had to throw 9 balls for a walk rather than 4. Silva may be forgotten or unknown to many baseball fans, but his 2005 season will forever be enshrined on the leaderboard and perhaps looked as the greatest season by a control pitcher ever.